perfect caregiver for your loved one can really be a daunting and expensive task.
Certainly. The Morf family, though, got more than they expected when a new caregiver arrived on their doorstep. Ashley Hendricks explains in this week's Acts of Kindness.
Helping others in the time of great uncertainty is what Brianna Jackson was called to do. It's that compassion that led her to become a caregiver.
Just being able to be with someone and make their life a little bit easier. I think that's the biggest part.
Brianna had many patients, but none quite like William Doug Morf, who suffered from Alzheimer's disease. The two first met last year in October, shortly after losing her grandmother. She was asked to fill in for someone else.
And from that week on, like by the end of that week, we were like, oh my God, how can we keep you in our lives?
And when their two worlds collided, boy, did everything change.
There was like a joy and a spark that came back a little bit when she came onto the scene.
Yeah. Doug and Nancy's daughter, Bridget, says they were in desperate need for daytime and evening care. But like many families, they just couldn't afford it.
I was like, you don't have to pay me at all if you don't have it. Like, I'll do it for free.
Twice a day, 7 days a week, Brianna showed up, driving 45 minutes from Louisa to Henrico, where Doug and Nancy lived. Not having a car of her own, she borrowed her parents' vehicles for the different shifts. Never missing a day, Brianna and Doug had become the best of pals, even thinking of clever ways to help him.
He'll look at me. I was like, I don't feel happy. I was, can I have a hug? Can you give me a hug? And I'll here, and I'll put his arms over my shoulder, and I'll give him a hug, and then I'll sit him up, and he's like, hey, you got me.
Over the next 4 months, their bond grew fonder as Doug's time here on Earth grew closer to the end.
It's like when stuff started going downhill, he was still this bubbly guy. We would still sit and watch TV, and I would pull my chair up beside him and I would hold his hand.
In February, Doug slipped away peacefully after suffering 9 years with Alzheimer's. Although he's no longer here, Bridget says she's grateful her dad brought their families together.
This is an incredibly hard experience. But if there's one silver lining, I gained a best friend. She's family.
Brianna's selfless acts of kindness was immeasurable for this family. It's why they reached out to 12 on Your Side.
We nominated you for acts of kindness for everything that you've done for our family and the incredible person that you are. So on behalf of everyone that you've inspired, here is $300 and $50 to Mexico restaurant, and it's pennies in a bucket for all of the wonderful things you've brought to us.
Brianna's exceptional care for Doug led her to a manager role with his nephew's caregiving company, AmeriCare. In her office, Doug will always be close, reminding her that family is not only binded by blood, but by love that never ends. For 12 on Your Side, I'm Ashley Hendricks.
A beautiful story, Ashley.